Hello everyone, and welcome to my first tea time and book review episode. So I invite you in this series to have a cup of tea ready and join me while I talk to you about a book that I recently enjoyed. I'm having just some green tea. I always love green tea, especially if we're still pretty early in the morning. So the book that I want to talk to you about today is called Change Your Schedule, Change Your Life, and it's by Dr. Suhas Kshirsagar. So this book, I want to talk to you about this book, okay? First of all, this book is life-changing. So let me read to you just like the first paragraph, okay? This is like the opening of the book. So chapter 1, it's not you, it's your schedule. Tell me your daily routine and I'll tell you how healthy you feel. Tell me when you eat, and I'll tell you if it is easy or difficult for you to maintain your weight. Tell me when you exercise, and I'll tell you whether you are building your body's systems or wearing them down. Tell me when you turn off your television or computer at night, and I'll tell you how sensitive you are to stress. Tell me when you fall asleep, and I'll tell you whether you need coffee to power your way through the afternoon or whether you snap at your loved ones at the end of a long day when you wanted to be patient. Does this sound like magic? It's not. A growing body of science reveals how closely our bodies are linked to the circadian rhythm of light and darkness, right down to the cellular level. This research shows that when you eat is as important as what you eat. When you fall asleep is as important as how much sleep you get, and when you exercise is as important as how much exercise you get. Your daily schedule determines your weight, your stamina, your general health, and your mood. Don't believe me? Anyway, so I'm not gonna keep going, but this was like the first little part here in the beginning, and I feel like it really gives you a good overall idea of what he's going to talk about. And I don't know about you, but this captivates me. Like, oh my gosh, I always thought that it was what I was eating and like how much exercise I was getting, even if I do it before bed or something like that, but no. So let me tell you a few more things. So basically, if you're not following like a specific schedule daily, it's almost like your body is constantly jet lagged. And he talks about this concept of social jet lag, where on non-work days, we kind of delay everything we do like maybe an hour or two, even more for some other people. So for example, if you're used to waking up at 6 a.m. for work, well, maybe you're waking up at 8 or even later on weekend days. And then maybe you're used to having lunch at 12 because you have to for work, but then because you woke up later on the weekend, maybe you're having a midday like 2 p.m. meal, and then because of that you're having your dinner at 7 or 8 p.m. and then you're having a dessert at 10 p.m. So everything is like delayed. So social jet lag, it's as if your body is constantly jet lagged, and that makes it so confused. There is a 24-hour cycle of your body, and this cycle resets every time you're exposed to daylight. So imagine when we have all our lights turned on, watching TV at midnight. How confused is your body? You're telling your body that it's daytime, so then all the systems are like wondering if they have to reset again. And around 9 p.m. your brain starts wanting to generate melatonin so that you get sleepy, and by 10 p.m. maybe you'll fall asleep. But if you don't fall asleep by 10 p.m. A new phase starts. So in Ayurveda there are like 6 time blocks from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's like Pitta time, which means like fiery and productivity. But if you're not asleep, that means a new surge of energy will start. Have you noticed that around 10 p.m. you will feel like as if you're a little hungry for a little snack if you're not already asleep? And that's why clubs and bars, the peak of popularity is from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Isn't that funny? Like at 10 p.m. people get a new surge of energy. Yeah, let's go to the club. Let me just get some tea. And of course, he acknowledges that the modern schedule disrupts our circadian rhythm, which in turn greatly affects our health and daily habits. It's like a full circle. So for example, if you're doing like night shifts and you feel like you have no choice because that's your work, that's your career, and you're in a phase where you have to work at night, well, of course, that's something it's reality, but you can do other things that will help you still feel better. I like how also he mentions that Ayurveda, which is the oldest known medical system in the world, originating in ancient India about 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, has acknowledged all of this since the beginning. But physiologists of Western medicine have only been kind of looking into this and researching and proving all of this with more Western perspectives since like a few decades, like 40 to 60 years. And this science is called chronobiology. I wanted to mention something that I found really like scientifically interesting. So at the center of your brain, you might know that there's something called a hypothalamus. The hypothalamus regulates all systems of the body by taking cues from your tissues and organs and also from the exterior environment. There's one part of the hypothalamus called the SCN, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it's the size of a grain of rice, okay? This one has the task of reacting to light. When your retina, the retina of the eye, is exposed to light, the suprachiasmatic nucleus that sounded kind of like supercalifragilistic, tells your body that it is day. And also when there is no light, your suprachiasmatic nucleus will tell your body that it is nighttime, it is time to go to sleep. So you may have understood that Ayurveda is the perspective that is taken in this book. So the author, he has a doctorate in Ayurvedic internal medicine. So he is an MD, medical doctor. I think that's what it stands for anyway, right? MD, medical doctor. And Ayurveda, Veda means science or knowledge, and then Ayur means life. So Ayurveda is the knowledge of life, science of life. It is a precursor of all healing traditions, including traditional Chinese medicine and Greek humorism. Ayurveda takes each body type and recognizes that each one needs different health advice. Of course, sleep, exercise, and food-wise. So if you have trouble sleeping, if you're restless, or if you sleep multiple hours but you still feel tired in the morning and you don't understand why, if you are regularly exercising, you have a pretty healthy diet, but you still can't either lose weight or gain weight or just get fitter in general, you're not able to find your balance and perfect health somehow, then you need to read this book. You realize that it's not only about what you're eating, how much you're exercising, it's really about when you're eating, when you're exercising, when you're going to bed, when you're waking up. In the book, there's also like a few tests that you can take to understand your own type. What body type do you have? What kind of exercise is best for you? Sleeping pattern, diet. Talks about mindfulness as well. I think there's a whole chapter on mindfulness, the importance of meditation. There's like a meditation exercise. He talks about pittas, who are people who find it a little hard to kind of sit and meditate and stay still. They find it wasteful and counterproductive. So he has a few suggestions, for this type of person. And there are 2 chapters on the seasons. So how your body kind of changes with each season, and also how your life has seasons. And in the final chapter, he helps you to build your perfect day in 3 phases. So like phase 1, you do this for a couple of weeks, phase 2, and then phase 3. So yeah, I found this book really well written. It was not boring at all. I felt like I wanted to just keep reading. It was almost hard for me to put it down. I was like, okay, I read a few chapters, I'm just gonna put it down and read tomorrow, I liked all the stories. He would talk about a certain patient of his. I imagine he changes the names, but he's like, I had a patient named John who blah, 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 blah. So, he kind of gives us lots of examples so that you're able to identify yourself to these people, and maybe you can understand a bit more your own story. Also, I think it's good to read this book, but not put too much pressure to follow it to the T. It's good to use it as a basis for just like building a better lifestyle and healthier daily habits. I have personally incorporated some tips from this book. So for example, I feel like I was not having a strict and healthy eating routine, like eating schedule. Sometimes I would wake up not hungry, and then I would only eat at like 10:30, but then that would not make me hungry for noon, so then I would eat at like 2 p.m. But now, since I've incorporated his tips, I have been waking up and I'm hungry like around 8 a.m., and then I have lunch at noon, and I am genuinely hungry. I feel so good about that, like the hunger feeling feels so good. Like when you're hungry and then you make your meal and it's even more delicious. And then I have a light dinner. So of course, a light breakfast, a light dinner, and my heaviest, like kind of the most calorie dense meal is my lunch meal. Also, I used to not be able to not have like chocolate or something like a dessert after dinner. Now I have it around 3:30 p.m. and I don't have a lot of it. I used to kind of go out of control sometimes, not every day, but sometimes I would have like 3 or 4 pieces of like a cake that I've made, and then that would kind of completely spoil my dinner. So, and then I wouldn't have dinner. Like, isn't that sad? I wouldn't have dinner because I ate too much cake like at 3:30 or 4 p.m. That's really not healthy. So now I have like 1 piece of cake at 3:30 or something like that, you know, between 3 and 4. I like to have that with some tea. You know, that's not something he recommends actually, but this for me is like something that sparks joy in my life. So I really enjoy to have this little routine for myself. Then I have my dinner at 6:30, before 7. And then I don't even crave something sweet after dinner. I can't believe this. Like, I'm 2 different people. I used to be like aching, like I need chocolate, I need something, you know? So it's pretty crazy and amazing to me to think that now I don't even think about it. Like, I finish dinner and I'm good. All right, that's it, guys. Pick up this book, or, you know, if you have a Kindle or you prefer to listen to an audiobook, please get it, okay? Thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this tea time and book review episode. Yeah, so I will definitely keep doing them on a regular basis. Subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment down below. Tell me, as I said, some books that you enjoy, and add me on GoodReads. I'll try to like link you to my account, my GoodReads account, in the description box. If you have GoodReads, please add me and we'll become GoodReads friends and follow each other. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.